Hello everyone, welcome back. Thought I'd do something slightly different. It's just something I've had in the back of my mind for ages. What you see at the moment are bags of old pennies. And I've been planning to do a video or two on pennies themselves. I did one a little while back about the history of the penny, went up to, I think it was the end of Victoria sort of period. Now, with these particular coins are ones that I've picked up either from second-hand shops, junk shops, that sort of thing, through to parts of mixed bags of world coins. So there's some of everything. Now, what I was originally planning on doing was just showing you the whole pile and then going through them all. Then when I saw what I actually had here, I thought, no, we'll be here all week. So what I've done, without realizing it, is actually broken them down into their necessary monarchs. So this little bundle here in the middle, for example, that's an early Victoria, the old young head or bun head. We've got a bag there, can't tell which ones we've got straight away, but basically we've got Victoria, we've got George V, George VI, we've got Edward VII, and this big bag is all Elizabeth. So my plan now is to do 5 videos over the next few weeks, maybe a month or two, I don't know, see how this one goes. Working backwards. Now, at the moment, my own personal collection, I've got all pennies going back from 1967 all the way back to Edward, for example, in this folder, and this one is all Victoria up to 1901. So I've got the same plan for this little lot. Obviously what I'll do is replace any of those that I've got in there for any better ones. It's unlikely. And I've got 2 empty books that I've used for other coins in the past, so I'll be using those to put this lot into there, so we'll have our own little run going. Now, my craziness in the theory I've got here is work backwards. So from Elizabeth, first one will go into the book on the back page there. So 1967, 66, 65, and so on. So you work your way through to the front of the book. It's always easier that way if you know there's an end of the run than it is from the beginning of a run. So that's the plan there. Now, what I'll do is I'll go through each one, and if I just clear the decks, you can see the high-tech hardware that I'm going to be using to help sort these cards. Here we go, nice bit of cardboard. So got a column for each, especially for just the Elizabeth ones, like I say. So we've got 1953, that was the first year of her issue. So I think there's about 1.3 million were issued for that year. And then there's a big jump to 1961 all the way through to 1967. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose from. 8 to actually find. And what we'll do is lay them all out. We'll see which one's the best one, and we'll put it into the book. And then we'll go back in the next video, have a look at George VI, do the same sort of thing, and then backwards again to George V and so on. So for the moment, bear with me. I will clear the decks, get the coins out of the bag, and get everything ready to go. Okay, we're back. Now, let's have a quick look using our high-tech, state-of-the-art piece of cardboard. What I'll do, like I say, I'll go through the coins that we've got, I've got them all off to one side at the moment. We'll just stack them up coming down. 1967 slightly wider than the others for two reasons. One, 1967 there was an awful lot of those issued. It was 164 million, I think it was. They seem to be more common than all the other years. And the other reason is, I didn't quite measure it out right, but we'll go with the first reason. So what we'll do is just, like I say, go through, have a quick look. So 67. This might take a while. So, there's 67. This is going to be quick if this is the case. What else we got? I may have put some of these into order already. These are all 67s. This is handy. See what else we've got. Break it up a little bit, shall we? 66, typical. 67, boring. Yeah, like I say, 67 appears to be a very, very common date. There's a 65. 65, 67. Sorry about that. I think I keep banging the tripod. 67. 67. Well, this is going to get boring very quickly. 63. Now, although we're starting at 53 straight to 61, there was an issue in 1954. An issue of 1. I believe that's actually held by the Royal Mint. I think it was done as a pattern piece or something. I may be wrong. I probably am. But there's only the one issued for that particular year, or one minted, I should say. 65. 65. Yeah, it looks like I may have already gone through these at some point without realising it and putting them in order. So I know I had to separate them out a little while ago. 63 and a 62. That's going to be a 67. They usually are. They're nice and shiny. Oh, that one's still got some of the shine to her arm. 65. 67. 7. Eek. Grotty. 67. 67. And another 67. So we've got quite a few of those. The Elizabeth coins are, I've found, some of the most common ones out there. So we should be able to get a year run. I mean, there's only 8 of them to pick from. 67, 65. 65, how many was issued in 65? So have a look at the mintages a sec. So 53 is 1.3 million. 54, like I said just now, is 1. 1961, there was 39.7 million. 62 was 137.6. 63 was 134 mil. 64 is 144 million, obviously. 65, 135 million, which explains why we've got so many already coming out. 66 was 157 million. We've only got the one so far, but we've only done a few. 1967 was 164 million. Now, there were ones issued for 1970 as well, but they were only issued in souvenir sets, and there's about 750,000 of those. So, yeah, like I say, the plan really is 66. It's just really to get an idea of what we've got. I may end up speeding this up because I am taking my sweet time. Sorry. Yeah, the plan really is just to get a secondary run going on top of my main own run. So this is like the YouTube run. So 65, 7, 67, 66. 67, 67, 65, another 65, oops, 63, makes a change, 62, 67, 62. Yeah, there's no real coins, no differences really to watch out for on these. They are all pretty much the same. So 67 on that one. Some of the earlier ones like Victoria, Edward's a classic. You've got the high tide, the low tide markings next to Britannia's legs. And then you've got with George V quite a few that are what they call them, Heaton and Kings Norton mint marks. So those are always good ones to keep an eye out for. 66 on that one, 67. Oh, and a 64. We finally got an oddity. Right, these other 67s I'm going to put off to one side. And a 63. Another 6. 66. Okay. Ew. 67. 67. These were 6s. 62. 62. Right. Save you guys listening to me prattling on and talking to myself half the time. What I'll do, I'll stop recording, I'll carry on sorting, and I'll show you everything we've got come the end and decide the next steps. Oh, 64, thank you very much. So I'll be back. Okay, that's all of them gone through. It's taken me a little while longer than I thought. Off camera, I've got a nice big pile of 62s, 65s, and mainly 67s, even though the pile down the side here has actually gone off the bottom of the screen. There's a lot of them. We actually found some 61s and a couple more 64s, boatload, like I say, of 62s and 65s. No 53s. Now, that's not really surprising because there's only 1.3 million minted, so I remember when I got that for my own collection, I think I actually paid a couple of quid for it on eBay just to fill that gap because it was becoming very, very difficult to find. So that, unfortunately, will be a gap in our little book for the time being. But we've got one of each. Now we can go through, have a close look, see which ones appear to be best. Come on, focus. The book. They're all pretty good nick, really. Just a case of picking the right one and then maybe replacing it once we've made a decision. You know what life's like. Don't want that one that's got some scuzz on it. Same with that one. Ooh, that's seen better days. So we're down to these. That one's worn slightly. That's got some of the copper still showing. I'm tempted to go for the one on the right. Slightly lighter, less wear. Yeah, go for that one. So that's our 61. Quick look at some of these 62s. Just having the colour on them. The light on them. Maybe. This is always down to individual choice as well. I mean, some people's, yeah, I'll keep that one. Is somebody else's, wouldn't give it out for them. All really comes down to whether you want to have the best version you can get, or simply, I've got one in the collection. Nice little ding to the side. It's always on the high points, I've noticed on some of these. So it's the shoulder there. Shoulder on that one, but not as bad. Eek. You. Yeah, a lot of wear and tear on that one. I mean, if you've got a choice of sort of 4 or 5 coins to pick from, yeah, you go for the best one. But if you've only got a couple and they're both grotty, you take the least grotty, obviously. Still got this one in my hand, and I've got that one down there, which is a likely one. Ooh, nice bit of shiny copper coming through. Wear and tear and such on that one. Eek. Might as well look at the obverse in the first place, I think, before I look at anything else. Eek. Yeah. Come on. Thank you. Yeah. Nope. So I've got that one. And that one. Let's have a look. Trying to look at the detail on the sleeve, on the shield. Yeah, get rid of that one. And that one we had there. Final comparison. Tempted to keep this one, mainly because it's still got some of the copper showing through. I like that, actually. And slightly darker finish compared to that one. So that's our 62. Right, I'll do the same thing for all the rest. Like I say, saves you sitting here watching me mumble away to myself. And I'll be back shortly. Right, I've gone through that little lot. It took me slightly longer again than I thought. There's so many of those 65s, it took forever just to pin them down. But when it comes to the 67s, like I say, there was, what was it? It was 164 million minted, so there's a few more than all the other years. These are the better ones, shall we say. They're not brilliant. Some of them are nice and shiny. I did have a few that had a nice bit of patina on them, but they were worn, which is quite surprising. The Queen's shoulder was well worn. I think on one of them, half of her face, she looked like she'd been out in the sun and caught a tan. So, just trying to work out really which ones of these, or which one rather, I'm going to hang on to. One of these two is coming down to. I know there's a bit of wear on there. 67s, like I say, very, very common. It's always going to be easy to pick more up and probably replace. I would have gone for a nice shiny one. To be honest, I like the look of this one. Bit of a patina on it. There's a hint of shiny in the background. And look at the top of the Queen's head, shoulder. It's more shiny from the copper than it is from wear and tear. That's the baby. So there we go. And that was only 8 years to wade through. So apologies, there's a lot of them to look at. The George VI, it shouldn't take too long. Again, there's not that many of them. George V, that's going to be the killer. That one's going to take a while. So I may do the same thing again. Start looking through them on camera with you guys. At some stage, break away, do my own thing, and then come back to you with what we've got on offer. And then we can have a quick look through, see what we've got, and make our selection from there. So what I'll do in a mo, I will pop these into our little book, get the book going, remembering to start from the back page. Last entry is 67, work our way back through, and then I'll show you what we've got. Back in a mo. You know you're a coin collector when you start finding you've got these books floating around and they're mainly empty because you've had stuff in them in the past and decided to start filling them back up. So here we go, back page 67, 66, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Over the page 61, and there's 1953 that we don't have. So once we start looking at George VI, we can start working backwards from the next space, and that will be in the next penny video, which hopefully will be in a week or two's time. See how this one goes. If you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up and a like, comments, all the usuals. If you let me know what it is you want to see, I'll do what I can to help you guys out. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Cheers all.